try to be like that. And the reason why I was crying, shouting yesterday, that there's nothing like discipline, which is the hallmark of your school here. So today we are going to continue in our series, and we are going to look at we are going to look at go to the next slide in our correlation.
Correlation.
Yes, you are still continuing.
Okay.
That is
The diagram.
The diagram.
30, slide 34 now.
That's all.
Is it at 5? No, it's 34. 34 and 35, they look similar, but they are different. Have you, can you, can you cite any, yes, can you cite any difference, yeah, compared to, oh, sorry, 30, I meant 33. Yes, 33 and 34 look similar.
Yes,
Hmm?
yes, sir.
Am I, am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So what do you think is the difference?
I think they specified that one was just the diagram. This one they wrote
Okay,
about
there are no
all.
footnotes there. Okay, that's not even what I was saying earlier. It's all right. I think we can go to 35 then. So let's go to 35. Yeah. So somebody should tell us anything that is of interest there that you have cited. What have you cited there that's of interest? Hmm? You see, before you open your mouth to talk, please look at it very, very well. Look at it very, very well.
Okay, I think that there are gaps in some of those depositions. They dated them after the Precambrian, and then there is a space in where that Devonian is supposed to be. There's nothing there. It's like a space in between.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's me that is not saying it very well. Down in the slide, that Mississippian part looks empty, but it's not.
Look at it very well. There are three locations that are represented there, right?
Yes, sir.
The first location is the Grand Canyon National Park. You have seen that.
Yes, sir.
The second location is Zion National Park. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Then the third one is the Bryce Canyon National Park. Have you seen those three?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, go to the first one, which is the Grand Canyon. When you look at the Grand Canyon, the exposures that were seen there, the exposures at the Grand Park that were seen there, the oldest of them is of what age? Huh?
Camera.
Huh? It's Precambrian in age. And the youngest is what? Yeah?
It's the same.
So the youngest is a transitional one between the Permian and then the Triassic. You have seen that.
Yes, sir.
So as far as the Grand Canyon National Park is concerned, the oldest rock unit there is of Precambrian in age, and the youngest is of Permian Triassic. Then the second location, what is the oldest there?
That is pure.
Same.
Payment.
Eh?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Please look at the second one.
You are not looking very well. You say, make
The
use of
second,
your brain. Look
no,
very well before you
the
talk.
second one. Look at this one. More,
What is the oldest unit there?
Yeah, this
more,
Huh?
France, even France.
The oldest is Triassic. If you look at the base where you have the national park, there was no deposition at that period. Yeah. And that's why it is a blank. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's look at the third location. That's the Bryce Canyon National Park. What is the oldest unit there?
Jurassic,
Huh?
Jurassic,
Look at it very well.
Jurassic. Deep sea foods. The other one to know the
You say what?
Jurassic.
How? Triassic. And what is the name of that formation?
So,
What's the name of that formation? Huh? I can't hear you. What is the name of that formation? The name of the formation is not mentioned. It's not because it is not exposed. Yes, agreed. They were deposited there, but they were not exposed. And so long as they are not exposed, you are not too sure of what is there.
the
So it's an unaccounted for. Yes, deposits of older age is there. What's the name of that lithology? It's not exposed. Because what we are dealing with is an exposure and outcome. It's not what's it called? Subsurface deposit that's being revealed as a result of coal drilling. Do you understand?
yes, sir.
Now, what is the youngest there?
Youngest,
youngest is
great, Cretaceous,
Yeah,
tertiary.
the youngest is tertiary.
tertiary.
The youngest is tertiary. Now, the implication of what you have seen here, the implication of what you have seen here is that they were deposits of older age during the national park, the Grand Canyon. That is the first. But the subsequent deposition beyond Permian, Triassic were not recorded in the Grand Canyon. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And then the question is, why were they not recorded? Two reasons we have been talking about, which are,
Either they were washed away or they were not deposited in the
or
first
they were not
place.
deposited. So that is the principal reason, and that is what the key thing for you now to. So if you now have, you are placing them side by side and you want to correlate, there is no way you have any correlation from Cambrian, Precambrian, sorry, to Triassic, Permian Triassic, vis-a-vis the other. Yes, maybe the what's it called? The Zion National Park.
Mm-hmm.
You can possibly correlate the uppermost layer, the youngest layer that you have with in the Grand Canyon National Park.
Yes.
You can correlate it with the oldest unit that you are having in the Zion,
Mm.
which now represent the oldest one, the oldest unit at the old national, I mean, the Zion Park.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And this one too.
But When you now go to the Bright Kenyon, you will never see anything like that there. And the same thing is applicable. If you want to correlate the the Bryce National Park with Grand Canyon, the youngest unit there, in fact, even the oldest unit, you won't have anything to correlate with.
So we can actually correlate
Is that what?
we
I
can
think you can
correlate
correlate
Zion National Park to
With
with the Bright
there's one
Canyon.
down.
I said the Grand
Grand
Canyon.
Canyon.
Okay.
You cannot correlate with the Grand Canyon. You can correlate the Zion and the Bryce at the lower most portion.
Yes.
But the youngest portion of the Bryce is you can't correlate it with be it with Zion or with the
Grand
Grand
Canyon.
Canyon National Park. Is that understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Some of you are not talking now. Now, let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the that same principle that was applied to those parts we just left
Yes, sir.
is what that is used to generate what we are having here. This is the geological column that was constructed all over the world. So this one is a global one. And we look at it. Look at it very well. Look at the areas. Those are the dotted points there where those cores were generated. Look at it very well. Although the name of those, but at least as a geographer, you can readily pick where they are taking. Now, look at the layer number one. Layer number one. We have layer one. That's for towards your left now. That's to the left hand column. That's where I'm looking at. You have layer one, layer two, layer three. That should be North America. That should be North America.
Yes.
So we have layer one, layer two, layer three, layer four. Right?
Yes, sir.
So that's where you have the oldest sedimentary layer in the world. Look at the other areas. You will never see the first four layers. Check.
In South
Look at the
America,
South America.
there are three, there are four.
Sir, the
But
next
Oh yes, yes, you are right.
yeah, yeah.
but there's
Yes.
no one.
In South America, you are going to see three and four. But you are not likely going to see it in any other part.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
So after the North America, you come to the south. So you are going to see you have that layer three, you have layer four, you are going to have layer five, six, seven.
South America, Central.
Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. So when you move from there, you are going to South Africa.
South Africa. Yes.
Yes, sir.
You are in South Africa now.
Yes, sir.
So you will discover that the layers six and seven that are
That the oldest
found
and youngest.
in South America, you will find it here again
In South Africa.
in South Africa. So you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
That same layer,
Multi country starting.
9 and 10, you will find it in South America.
And then
You will find it
Find it again.
where
Asia.
again?
Abi?
Yes, that's Asia.
Asia.
So you are going to have it there again as 9 and 10. Then we have
11.
11. 11 is equally present in South America. 11 is equally present.
Asia.
You have which other part? Asia. Which other part? It's part of Asia too. It's, it's drifting towards
What's the name of this country? Sounds like Antarctica.
No, I think that was someone. It should be European.
so.
Yeah, it should be.
But
Should
yes,
be very soon.
so after that, the ninth one, where do we have the 12th layer?
The 12th
Twelfth
layer.
layer
The
is
12th
also
layer
in
is
Asia.
also in Asia.
It's
It's also
also
in
in
Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anyone in America, in Australia?
In
No.
America, no, sir.
Huh?
No.
All right. So in the Asia, we have it up to
They are 19.
is it yes, to 19. But we have 12, 13. Okay, 12, the same is yeah. Okay. 12, 13. 13 is in Australia.
Australia.
14 is equally there. We have 15. We have 15.
Yeah.
So I want to believe that you got what we are talking about.
Yes, sir.
Now, this type of logging, this type of logging is called a composite logging. Composite. So it's an amalgamation of different stratigraphic columns to build one column. In other words, having gone through what we have here, how many stratigraphic columns we know? That's the consortium now. The composite. How many?
Nine.
Nine.
No, it's not nine.
Uh,
It's 19.
oh, that's what's on.
Oh, that's in
We are starting from number one.
Okay.
So we have 19. We have
Can you
19.
put the sound on composite plate because the amalgamation
Yes.
of
Yes, I said it's amalgamation of different stratigraphic columns. This is what I meant. See, you may get to the field and you have an exposure that trends like this, like this, like this. So it may be a root cause that passes through. So what you have here, if you have to log here, let's say you have a logging point here, 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 you have a logging point here. You will agree with me that let's say you drill, you got those points. You are not going to see beyond this depth. True or false? You don't see beyond this depth because this is the maximum of thickness you have. Is that not it?
Yes, sir.
So let's just assume that the total depth is 2 meters. This one 4 meters. This one 8 meters. This one 12 meters. And this one, let's say this one is 18 meters. Right?
yes, sir.
So this one is 3 layers. This one is so we have this one again. Yeah. Then we have this one. So and all like that. So we want to do simple correlation. There is nothing beyond there. You can correlate this one. This one will go with this one will go with this one will go with this, and possibly this one will go with this one. Right?
Yes, sir.
So there's nothing here again. They are not to correlate. So this one will go, at least this one will have it, this one will go with this, this one will go with this. So nothing against that you want to carry that. That understood. This one will go with this one will go with it, and then you know there's nothing again. So this is what we learned. This is a column, this is a column, this is a column, this is a column. Right? So for you now to generate what I refer to as the opposite, you are going to start from here. The principle of superposition takes the element here. Everything here, what you have there is the same thing. I just assume that in this case, what is deposited there is equally deposited there, is deposited there. Unlike those parts you just looked at. The national park, we said that we have sediments that are deposited there from the came there to Triassic. And the design starts like this. Then you have the branch, that one starts like that. Can you see? So what you have here is not here. It's not here. But of course there are some overlap there. Right? And then there are some overlap there. And then you can now see that the oldest bed is here. Maybe how many that you have there. Then this is the oldest, followed by this, followed by this. Since there are no records here, the one you have there is the same thing you have there. So you now have other ones you have continue. Is that understood?
Yes,
So
sir.
you now say 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Right? Then we can now say 5, 6, and possibly 7. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So in essence, you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total number of layers. Is that understood?
Sir.
And that is the same thing they use to design that correlation we just that global correlation. So each column, the merging it together is what that is called what
Correlation
the
column.
and as I said yesterday, and that I reported and we repeated this morning again that the correlation is either by the theoretical method or by the
But
biological method, which is opposite content. Any question? Any question? There is Abdulatif not yet in. Okay, you are back. I mean you are here now. You are welcome. Any question, please? Right, go to the next slide. Are you there?
yes, sir.
Now, you now discover that this is what gave birth to what we are carrying around called the geological time scale. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
So that is where geological time scale was generated. And as I've been telling you, all these ones are relative. You can say, oh, this one is older than this. Just like what I just said. This layer is older than this layer is older than this layer is older than this. You know, based on those principles, particular principles. But by what age, you don't know. Huh? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You can only say this one layer A is older than layer B based on the principles, whether with the one with provisions or no or not. But essentially, you applying the principle of superposition. That is what I really define that. I mean, define something that needs to has to do with age. Yes. Provided this one, this area has not been deformed, or this layer has not been deformed, that the one with the layers, yeah, these 3 layers that we are seeing here, the one at the base is older than the other two. That is relative. So it's not telling you that This layer A, which is 10 years old, is older than layer B and layer C. Layer B and layer C, which are 6 and 2 years respectively. Is that you know that one is clearly stated. And if you have such, we call that one an absolute data. So now that now leads us to the next slide, which is the absolute. I'm not going to I'm not going to too much of it. And the reason is at your level, I wouldn't bore you with all those details, but I will still let you know that when you have your geologic time scale, there are two aspects to it. Because geological time scale, aside the fact that it's a record of geological events, essentially tells us the age of those events, which we can appropriate to our modern world. So that is that. So what is absolute age or absolute dating? The geological times that is based on stratigraphy and fossil is a relative one. We can only say whether one formation is older than the other. That one we are talking. But absolute dating was made possible only after discovery of radioactivity. Radioactivity. What is radioactivity? We don't talk about radioactivity without talking about the radioisotopes. There are some elements that having their nuclei unstable. You say they have unstable nuclei. So in the process of attaining that state of equilibrium, you now have the parent cell that will not disintegrate. Disintegration is a chain reaction. So you have that splitting, which in physics or chemistry is referred to as decay. You have it until the state is attained. That's why you can see an element like rubidium, rubidium 238, 235, they are typical radioisotopes. So they are unstable. So rubidium can split, giving you strontium. Strontium unstable will split, giving you rubidium. So it is a chain reaction until, but not every element. There are some basic ones, just as I've mentioned. So, but one of the commonest one is that uranium.
Uranium.
Then you have the thorium. Then you have
Uranium.
the what's it called? Argon 40. And then you actually have potassium 40, potassium 39. One is stable, one is unstable. So potassium 40 is unstable. So it's equally disintegrates. So the is just is what I'm telling you is just a scratch of what when you get to 400 level, I guess there is a course called Precambrian geology and geochronology. That is dating of rocks. The principle involved you are going to be taught. So wait then. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe when you begin principle of stratigraphy broadly in 300 level, perhaps. But I'm sure it is under Precambrian geology that we are going to be thoughtfully on those aspects. So we are just catching it, and it's just because it's an introductory aspect. So we have the original term, let's say, at the turn of the 20th century, nuclear physics discovered the atom of uranium, radium, and the several other elements that are unstable. The nuclei of these atoms spontaneously break apart into other elements and emit radiation in a process known as radioactivity. So we call the original atom the parent and its decay product daughter. For example, radioactivity 238 atom decays into stable a non-radioactive lead 206. So it is until it gets to that lead 206 that it becomes stable. You understood? So That is what it means. So there is always what is called the half life. That half life is where the age now is extracted. The time taken for the parent cell to disintegrate into the parent the daughter cell. So that is how the radioactivity, the age is calculated. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
So we examples of radioactive decay, we have the alpha decay, we have the beta decay. That's don't let me bore you with all those things. Um, we have the decay constant. Yes, not like you are 200, you are 100 level. There is a course. I'm not sure if they are still mounting the course. I remember I did that course at like 200 level there. It's called relativity. It's in physics. It's equally a very good course that teaches on how this is how this type of calculation is done. So, but I'm sure people are always clear when it comes to you fraternizing with figures. But those of you that have flair for calculations, you enjoy it. You enjoy it. It's not a deep mathematics, but it's application of mathematics to unravel. So let's go to the next slide, which is the geometry time scale, or the geological time, before we talk about geological time scale. So the geological time scale just subdivides the entire year of the world history of the earth, or earth, so to say, into many different units, which are linked with events of geological past that we have been seeing since all we have been talking about, all those correlations in life. The time scale is divided into one, eons. Then we have the two types of eons. We have the Precambrian and the Phanerozoic, and then we have the eras. The eras now we have Precambrian, Paleozoic, which is the ancient life, and then Mesozoic, which is the middle life, and then we have the Cenozoic, which is the recent life. So we belong to the recent life. That's where we have the Tertiary, we have the Quaternary. So the eras are bounded by profound worldwide changes in life forms. The eras are divided into periods. So that is why you can now say that your geological time or geological time scale is subdivided. That was the question I was asking you here yesterday, into four columns. You have the eons, you have the era, you have the period, you have the epoch. So that is where this one comes from. So the periods are now subdivided into epochs. So go to the next slide. So you can now see the column, I mean those columns that we're talking about. But to the extreme left, to the extreme left, you see a column there. The column is million years. That is the column for the absolute age. That's the column for the absolute age. So what is the age of the earth? Huh? So we have a rider there. The standard geological time scale was developed using relative dating techniques. Then geometric dating later provided absolute times for the standard geological period. So now we have the span of geological time. The span of geological time. The geological time represents events of awesome spans of time. If the 4.6 billion year Earth history is represented by a 24-hour day with the beginning at the 12 midnight, the first indication of life will occur at 83 5 a.m. Dinosaurs will appear at the 10:48 p.m. and become extinct at 11:40 p.m. The recorded history of the mankind will represent only 0.2 seconds before. That means the area we have occupied is so very small.
They calculated this.
It's very, very small. It's very small. Because even when you look at it, the Precambrian alone is occupying the largest portion of the Earth history. Is
This
is
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 4
is
billion.
is having about about 500 and something to 600 million. That's column alone. So you see what it has the chunks is having. Okay, I think that's the I think that's the last I think that's the last slide there.
KT extinction.
Is that what?
KT extinction.
Oh yes, the KT
Extinction.
extinction. That one has to do with that. Do you know what KT means? That is the Cretaceous Tertiary. That's the KT.
Cretaceous station.
Cretaceous Tertiary. It's an event that is characterized, that is assumed that you have mass extinction, and the cause of that mass extinction is believed that there was an extraterrestrial body that came from heaven, that's from the terrestrial world, and hit the earth and crushed everything living there and caused a very massive crater. That is scientific belief. Have you seen any crater here in Lagos? Have you seen any crater in your hometown? Huh? You are not answering me now. Me, I did not see anyone in my father's village, but we are made to believe that. We are made to believe that it was that event that caused a mass extinction. That the thing came down like a bullet, and the impact it had with the surface of the earth caused massive destruction of terrestrial amphibian, or what you call the marine organisms, and everything just got out of existence. That's just the summary of the mass extinction. So they said the event it happens between that boundary of tertiary and cretaceous. And what is that cretaceous? Cretaceous is Mesozoic. It's subdivided into three. We have the Triassic, we have the Jurassic, then we have the Cretaceous. So then the Cenozoic now, which is the era which we all belong, is that boundary between that tertiary. After tertiary, what do you have? After tertiary, what do you have? After tertiary, what do you have?
Quaternary. Quaternary.
Is that what
Quaternary.
you have? Quaternary. So the KT extinction, so that the boundary between Cretaceous and Tertiary, that is the last period of Mesozoic and then the first period of Cenozoic, about 16 million years ago, is known as KT boundary. And more than half of all plants and animal species died in a mass extinction. The boundary marks the end of era in which dinosaurs and other reptiles dominated, and the beginning of era when mammals became important. How does this one fit into the scripture? Hmm? I, some of you in the Christians, yeah, have you read this book, my book of Bible stories? Hmm? You have seen the book before. My book of Bible story. You seen it before. If you have seen it before, you s- you see the pictorial view of the ark, the Noah's ark. You saw where after the ark was built and he was leading the animals into that ark. Eh? You saw different animals there. So
Yeah.
how do you relate that event to what we have here? Because in that you will see dinosaurs, you will see all those giant reptiles, they are all marching under the instruction of Lord Noah. They were all marching inside the ark. But we are now going to believe that the mass extinction cut off all those giant animals, and then it marks the beginning of evolution of mammals. Is that understood? So then how do we now place it side by side? And if you read out the Bible, you know that the creation of the world was an assignment that was carried out in 6 days. Yes, in 6 days. In 6 days. It really the creation was in 5 days before man came into the picture. Yes, 5 days. So it was after the fifth day when God created every other thing that all right, who will take charge of this? They now decided, okay, come, let us make man in our own image. So God decided to create man and then give man the express instruction to take care of the plants and the animals and every other elemental things he has created. You understood? So it's really at variance to the scripture. But the fulfillment of all righteousness, we have to say some of these things, even though we don't believe. Me, I don't believe. I have not said you believe. Don't follow what I say. But I'm saying what, you know, so that is it. And I'm sure, too, that the Muslims will never align with it. Any sheikh here, any sheikh, yeah, any afar, where am I going? Is this one in consonant with what is in Holy Quran? This man is not here. Did you hear what we said about the KT band and the mass extinction? Which KC? Which KC are you talking about? Is it KCWE or W? Yes. Excuse me. Let's hear what you say. Eh? Did you hear my question? I said what we have here, is it in conformity with the scripture? Holy Quran. It's in conformity. Me, I don't think you understood my question. I see. I said the record from scientific point of view was that we have existence of plants and animals, especially at the close of Precambrian, that is towards Silurian Pennsylvania, started seeing some traces of life, right? And that both plants and animals, you started seeing that signature through the Paleozoic, which is representing the ancient life, the Mesozoic, which is the middle life, and the Cenozoic, which is the latest life, the recent one, right? But the middle life, at the middle life, that's why we have the population of all these reptiles, and the champion of them all was called the dinosaur. They existed. Some went into extinction before the major event called the T boundary mass extinction. And the Kt boundary, the K represent the Cretaceous, the T represent the Tertiary. The K, that Cretaceous, is the end of the middle line. That's the end of Mesozoic. Is that understood? Whereas the T marks the beginning of the recent life. Do you understand that? Are you a reptile? Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, but the records, according to the event that took place at that period, was that there was a mass extinction as a result of an extraterrestrial body that came from heaven, or let's just say, we didn't use the word heaven, from above, and collided with the surface of the earth, which marked, the extinction of all those plants and animals, especially the animals. So, as from the tertiary now, it marks the evolution of mammals. And I'm now asking that with the picture here, that from Christian Philip point of view, that it's in contravention of that. That I don't align myself with it, right? And I said, I don't know what the record is inside the Holy Quran. And I was looking for a Sheikh, an Imam, to help us through life. So it was then your name was mentioned. And now ask that Afa Abdulatif, what we are talking about here, is it in consonant with what is recorded in the Holy Quran? Yes or no? Is that the tertiary period? So that is when the Quran, that is the record of the Quran. And, so, in other words, have you heard of bed before? Bed, 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 B-I-R-D. Yes, have you heard of it before? Do you know that bed was one of the animals that were crossed by that bullard bat? Yes, go and look at it. Go and read the geological history very well. You will discover that bed, from the record, even from evolutionary theory, you discover that bed is seen as an amphibian. That the four-footed later became two-footed. Down the street. But in the Holy Book, Bible, bed was the particular animal Noah sent to go and see if the water has receded. Right? Meaning, from our record, the Bible, meaning that all those animals, they all predated Mama. They predated us. And now I said, because of the Bible, God actually created heaven and the earth in 5 days. It was at the sixth day when he saw what he had created. Right? Not, those of you that read the Bible, yeah, go and look at the last Genesis 1:31. God was happy. He said, yes. The Bible says God was happy when he saw that he created because they are all good. Not now that you boys just came now started to asking and you lose. Like the area father we have in Abuja. You know him? You know that area father in Abuja? The man that was once staying at Jagada. You don't know the grand patron of Okada people?
No, sir.
Uh, who read all those things? know the grand patron of Okada
No, sir.
in Nigeria.
No, sir.
I will give that one to you from my But that one is just so. What I'm saying first is that it was after that fifth day, after God's examination, that he now said, "Let us create man in our image," and he created man in image. But events much later said that God decided to destroy the world because of the nature of human being, because the heart is desperately wicked. And I now said, if anybody has ever seen the record called a book called the book of my book of Bible, in that book you will see the pictorial view of the ark of Noah, the animals being led, and one of the animals you are likely going to spot there is the dinosaur. Every animal, they were all entering. They all entered that ark. That was true. So, as I said, if the record of this, I mean, we have it on record that the people that destroyed everything and they all went into extinction, how come now that we still now saw those animals entering? And it is part of, I mean, partly from that, that, you know, I align with the Holy Ghost, not this, but in fulfillment of all righteousness, we have to let him know that, okay, this is the scientific point of view, but not from scriptural point of view. But your account now shows that